It's Pride season. Are you ready to show off your body loud and proud, or is a massive bush holding you back? Our sponsors for today, Manscaped, want to let you know it's time to make your pubes Pride Parade ready. Manscaped is the world leader in below-the-waist grooming. Prep for Pride with the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS at manscaped.com. What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, the OG podcast of gay sexuality. I'm your host, Steve V, and this is episode 373. Alongside, welcome back, Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good, really good. Thank you for asking. Also, of course, joining us is Kodi Maurice Doggete. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful this evening.
This evening. I love it. So much to talk about on this show. And, first things first, Jeremy, we haven't heard from you in a minute, but I was scrolling around, stalking you on your Instagram and noticed Boston Pride. You went to Boston Pride, and what can you tell us about it?
Oh my gosh. So it was super, super fun. I felt like a fresh meat because I literally did not know one person there. And that is because when I graduated from high school, I literally moved to New York like a month later. And of course, I was 18 and still like underage. So I've never been out in Boston, and it was a lot of fun. I met like a bunch of new people and went with one of my childhood close friends. And
You're killing me because I was scrolling around your Instagram and I thought, is this Jeremy's new beau? He's super sexy and hot.
Yes, he is. We have so much fun together, and it's fun like cruising and being each other's wingman, and we've had a blast as of recent.
So he's a friend that you knew when you were how old?
So I've known him since I think like 6th grade in elementary school. Yeah, his childhood house is like where his parents still live is right across the street from the school I went to from 1st grade to 8th grade.
How much fun is that to
Yeah,
be
it was really
cruising
cool.
around as you state now as adults, as a young adult gay men? That must be so fun.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And you were telling me offline that Boston Pride this year did it a little bit differently. They did neighborhoods, correct?
Yeah, so they do like a series of block parties, and then they also have like uh certain events that happen at night that are like on Eventbrite and like buy tickets to parties and stuff.
Of
But
course.
so they did one that I went to was at a place bar called Trophy Room, which is really cute. It's on a corner, so they closed off the whole street back, like the whole entire block, and then they had like a big pride stage and a DJ and all of that, and they had like uh beer and wine outside because of course Boston has rules of like the certain liquor you can have
Of
outside.
course.
So my ass was dragging my friend in for my vodkas. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck this rule. I'm putting it on the windowsill and we're grabbing it and going. And so we totally like did the cheat where we like walk around the building and then they have these like glass French doors half open. And so we put the drinks like close to the edge and then just swoop them out.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, I love Boston.
Yeah, it was very cute and it was a lot of fun. And actually, this weekend we're going to Providence Pride. If either of you are around, where we're staying in a hotel on Friday and Saturday, and I've never been to Providence. And
Rhode Island,
yes, yeah, and we met like so. One of his close gay friends is the captain of the fire station in Providence, Rhode Island, and he's a hottie and super super fun. So they're a cool couple, and they're like new friends that I've met of his, and it's just fun to get acquainted with all new gays and stuff. And they are gonna show us around Providence on Friday and Saturday, and I guess there's the same thing, lots of block parties, but there's gonna be a parade and all kinds of stuff. So I'm rearing up for that.
That's so
Shout out
fun.
to Rhode Island's Pride and follow Jeremy at J Ross Lopez to say hi if you happen to be in Rhode Island this weekend. It sounds like so much fun. I would love to go maybe on Saturday. I don't know. We have a lot going on here
We
in New
do.
York.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but I would love to do that. I know Sunday here in New York City, we are going to Folsom East, which you previously knew,
Oh, cool.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's moved its way over to iconic Christopher Street, and I think it's going to be a great thing having it on Christopher Street. You
Yeah,
know,
it's nice
different.
for like a historic neighborhood.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this past weekend, I had a lot of fun watching the Tonys hosted by Ariana DeBose. So good. The Broadway is truly back, and Ariana DeBose did such a brilliant job hosting the Tonys. Shout out to her. But I also watched a film that I really highly recommend called Fire Island on Hulu. It's written and stars Joel Kim Booster, I have a crush on him. He's so sexy and hot.
Yes.
But
Love
I didn't
him.
realize he wrote it, but it's really good. It also stars Bowen Yang from SNL, Margaret Cho, iconic. Nick Adams plays a douchey gay, but I love Nick Adams.
Oh,
And
I
I
remember
interviewed
him from La Cage aux Folles.
or Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what it is. Yes.
Yes, no,
Yes.
but not. You were right to think because it's very similar, like Aja
Yes.
Falls to
Yeah.
Priscilla. Yes, Nick Adams. I interviewed him even before that when he did Macy's Passport back
The
in the day.
body is amazing.
Body
Woo,
is still on
Jesus.
point. He could
Oh my
in
God,
real life.
you know who else was in that like in that house of like where they consider everyone douchey? Do you remember my friend my Latin friend that lived uptown? I don't know if I want to say his
Oh,
name, but
oh,
his
right.
roommate was a model,
You have to tell me
and
afterwards.
his roommate was a model, and he was one of the guys standing at the steps when they were like giving them douchey faces when they first
In the
walked
movie
in.
Fire Island.
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
watch it, Jeremy?
Yes, I did. It's really cute.
Isn't it really cute? Oh
It
my
is, yeah.
god.
It was hilarious. I loved
I have to
Margaret
wait.
Cho. It makes me want a boyfriend and makes me want to go to Fire Island all in
Meh.
the same sentence.
I'm just
Yes,
joking.
yes. And we just really have to shout out to Joel Kim Booster, who stars in it, who wrote it, who's Asian, who's gay, who's loud and proud, who also wrote on a show, did a little bit of research, and found out he was a writer on a show I'm obsessed with called The Other Two. If you don't know about it, look it up. It's on HBO Max. The Other Two. Molly Shannon's in it. And I knew Nick Adams was on The Other Two, so he probably put in a good word for Nick to be on this film. But to just have a film from an Asian perspective, and they really tackle, didn't you find the writing so fresh and real
Yes, it
and
was very
today?
well done, and there was a lot like that you could uh, grasp on and like remind you of experiences you've been through.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
can't wait
I
to see it.
highly recommend. Do yourself a favor this Pride season. It's on Hulu. It's called Fire Island. Check it out. That's my request. But Jeremy, you were actually had another show that I keep debating if I want to get uh join it or not. Queer as Folk.
Yeah, so that I think it dropped on Friday, and I started, I want to say Saturday morning, and I like was hooked automatically. And then my friend and I watched it before heading to Pride, and it's just really sexy. Everyone in it is cute, and it has like all different parts and like lesbian and transgender and a lot
Mhm.
of different people that are in our community, and so all of their storylines are so good, and some of them are similar storylines to the old Queer as Folk, so they do go back to that, but
Which I loved.
it's also like an homage to certain things that have happened in gay culture as of recent as well,
Yeah.
and it all takes place in New Orleans, which is super super cool
Fab.
and somewhere I've
Well,
always wanted to go.
Oh, it's
let's all
amazing. I love
let's
it there.
do you love it there,
Oh
Kodi?
my God, it's one of my favorite cities of all time. And just the ambiance and the culture and the things you can get into down there. This it's just amazing.
It's so funny because the last iteration of Queer as Folk was set in, oh my gosh, Pittsburgh,
Yes, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it was they really shot it in Vancouver, or excuse me, Vancouver, Canada, which actually would have been a great place to set it because I've been to Vancouver and it's got a great destination for LGBTQ. I don't know why they probably wanted it to be in an American city because
Yeah.
the OG was the UK. So I think they wanted to make sure that there was an American, and probably because of budget, they set it in where they did. But
Mhm.
I'm here for this. I want to continue. I think we really need to support some of this really great writing and entertainment for our LGBTQ that's happening right now.
Definitely.
I mean, it started with Pose, probably other series people are going to talk to us about that have really impacted them, but this goes in line with really good entertainment, really good writing. It's about time that we're
Yeah.
seeing our representation on, thank God, to streaming platforms. That's all I have to say on that.
And Strange Loop won the Tony last night.
And Strange Loop won the Tony, about a queer, black, gay man young man, I have to say. And I think I might just sneak over there, Kodi, if you're around Wednesday before Tags Live. If you want to sneak over, there's cheap tickets that we could probably get.
To see Strange Loop? Oh my God, I would love to.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I'll talk to you offline. Well, in other Pride news, we have to talk about what went on over the weekend. Also in LA, covering our bases here, LA Pride. Now, you might have thought, didn't we already talk about LA Pride? Well, LA Pride, like a lot of cities, is really branching out with, like, we have Queens Pride here, and we have New York Pride. LA Pride's really interesting because they now have WeHo Pride and LA Pride, which confuses even the residents of the LA County. Nobody really knows what's going on over there. I know there's dueling fights going on, but regardless, it seems like this was the one because LA Pride does a whole stage, and Christina Aguilera took to the stage and performed XXX with Kim Petras, wearing a big ass strap-on dick during one of the most iconic moments. Kodi, I know you saw it.
Yeah.
This was pretty amazing. She also, in the same performance, performed with, she did Genie in a Bottle. She did Britney Spears' Toxic, and
Did
she finished
really?
with Car Wash featuring Missy Elliott, which was a lot of fun. But she did a song from Burlesque, and she did Lady Marmalade.
So everything
Moulin
the gays
Rouge.
love.
Yeah, she brought Maya onto the stage, and both Christina and Maya looked fabulous. Of course, Paris looked great. We'll talk about Paris in just a second from Britney Spears, but we're doing pop news, you guys, right now in Pride. How much you saw it, Kodi? What were your thoughts on Christina Aguilera taken to the stage?
I love her. She can do no wrong in my eyes, even with the dildo on. So a green dildo.
I'm here for that green dildo. It's a wink and a nod, which is so fun to me.
I think it was also Swarovski crystal, like encrusted.
Of course it was, and of course you would know that.
But yeah, I love her, so I'm so glad. Her voice is amazing, so I always stand her. So I'm here for it. So good for her, and good for her bringing Maya on the stage, because I love that.
Love that. That definitely was the show too. In other Pride news across the United States, in Miami, actually not Miami, it was Wynwood, a place in Miami that I really love. It's downtown. It's an art district. I actually really love the Wynwood district. They had what's called again, with the different types of prides. There's Miami Pride that happens in April, if I'm not mistaken, and this is called Miami's Wynwood Pride that just happened. It can get so confusing. I love all of the inclusion of the different areas. Azalea Banks, on the other hand, took to the stage and was booed. off stage. She only did 4 songs of a longer set that she was planning on doing, partly because people were throwing things up at the stage, which think is horrible.
Yeah, that's not.
Partly she called it toxic and said that they were spraying dry ice all over the place, which she's horribly allergic to. But a lot of people also said that Azalea Banks has not, although you told me, Kodi, that she came out, she's bisexual, she hasn't been really good to the LGBT community, as she's called out drag queens and the transgender community, as she just called them out in hateful ways. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Kodi, about the opposite of when a big star tries to come and perform at our Pride events that doesn't go over well?
I mean, I understand that she self-identifies as bisexual, but it's really funny to me that she would call those people toxic when all she does is spew hate on the internet. It really makes me feel like I don't think that they were justified. I don't think you should be throwing anything at anybody. Just don't support them or go to the show at all. But it really makes me question why the Wynwood Pride would even have her come aboard. It makes me
Book
feel,
her.
yeah, like why is she performing at all? Because she hasn't done anything to support our community. So all she does is try and denigrate people and bring people down. So I really don't understand it, and I don't support her. But I'm not going to be there and throwing things at her. I just am not going to go at all. And I will go on the internet and type, "Why the hell is Azalea Banks at Wynwood Pride?"
You know, it's interesting, Jeremy, because you were recently, weren't you in Florida? Were you in Miami at all? And what's your thoughts right now? Because if you read a lot of the gay press right now, as I scour it every single week for you guys here on TAGSPodcast, you know, there's not a lot of love going towards Miami right now. And what's your thoughts on that when you were there?
I mean, I had a very fun and casual time with a close friend. So, I mean, catching up and going out to Twist every single night is always a blast.
Love Twist.
But I mean, if you're in a different area, I'm assuming it could be much less accepting and maybe just a whole different vibe. But I completely stayed within maybe a 10 block radius the entire time I was there. And I can only take my yummy and doses, and I was only there for maybe 4 days. So, I mean, it's a lot of drinking and dancing and stuff like that. And I had a blast, but I mean, I can understand things can get out of hand there, and they almost always do.
Yeah, and I think my thoughts on the whole thing of performers, I mean, great Azalea Banks, she's bisexual, as she states, but has said some horrible things against certain parts of our acronym. I am here, why not have more open LGBT? There's so many artists out there that are out and proud than 10, 15, 20 years ago, when there weren't that many, when it wasn't easy to get your music up on iTunes and Spotify, and you were struggling. Now you can get your music up there, and there's so many great. I'm gonna treat myself next week and go see Umi, who is a queer art, self-described queer artist. I love her music. She works with Corinne Bailey Ray on a track. I just think she's so soulful. She talks about her queer identity. I'm going to go see her next week, and it's like $28. It's not at a Pride event, but it's my way of celebrating Pride, supporting a queer artist during the month of Pride. And I just think, instead of putting somebody like an Azalea Banks, who has a sort of a dicey record on support to the community, there are so many artists you could put up there that really would love to perform. Come on, Miami and Wynwood, I love you. You're the artist district. Azalea Banks was not the artist to put up there. It's like this really cool art community. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, and before we move on with news, we definitely have to talk in pop news that Britney got married to Sam. Sam is so adorable. Oh my God. I'm so happy for Britney Spears, though. And at the wedding, Madonna attended it. Paris Hilton was certainly busy this past weekend because she also attended the wedding, as did a lot of other stars. Selena Gomez, star-studded wedding. It looked like a lot of fun. What were your? I mean, we're happy for Brittany, yes?
Oh yeah, for sure. Good for her.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think it looked like a fun party, and I saw Donatella there too.
Of course,
And
yeah.
Madonna,
She
did we
designed
mention
the wedding
Madonna yet?
dress. Of
She
course we
designed the
did.
wedding dress, and they played Like a Virgin at the wedding. In other Madonna news, I have to get your perspective on this. Julia Gardner, who we love from Ozark,
Hmm.
is set to play Madonna in the brand new biopic film that Madonna is going to direct. I know you're an Ozark fan. I know you love Julia Gardner. I know you love Madonna. What are your thoughts on this casting?
I'm really excited, and I think she's like perfect for that part. I think she's very good at melding to a a part and a role that she like just encapsulates where how she acts, eats, speaks, all of that. And I just feel like she's gonna be really good at honing in on Madonna's true like bad bitch, don't give a fuck
Yeah, I
type
think
of
in a text you
energy
said
and
badass
mood.
bitch. You told
Yeah,
me badass bitch. Perfect. Yes, I
yeah.
love that. Yo, I'm super excited. And Kodi, we got to get you to watch
I
Ozark.
I do. I can't wait to watch it now. You guys are telling me so many good things about it, so I'm really excited about it now.
You're gonna have to start from season 1 though, so just saying. And
That's
but it
okay. I love a
is
binge night.
so good. It is so good. Did you not love it? And I love the way it and
Oh, I
without
loved
giving
it.
away anything. I was talking to a friend. The ending. You know, when sometimes when they end these shows, you're often wondering, how are they going to tie all this in? How am I going to feel about it going away? Honestly, it tied it up in a way that was so. I went to bed that night going, I am so satisfied. And I was thinking about it. I
Oh
woke up thinking
wow.
about it. I was like, this was such a good ending.
I
It's
love a
not The
night like that.
Sopranos,
I'm really
y'all. It's
satisfied.
not all these other huge shows that I missed out on over the years, Twilight series and all that stuff. But it was so satisfying, and I was
Yeah,
happy to
I
be a part of
agree.
the community. Yeah. Hey guys, your buddy Steve V here. Happy Pride, and boy, am I glad Pride is here to honor the occasion. I took a little time to get ready for the month ahead. I'm hoping to get lucky this Pride season, and I got in the shower using some of my favorite products. I'm talking about things like the crop exfoliator and crop gel so that I could use my crop shaver to really get a close shave. You know what I'm talking about. In the crack, in my growing area, all the important areas, it really did the job. But I also use so many of their other products, like the Lawnmower 4.0, to just get some of that extra hair under my arms that I don't like so much. They have so many products that really get me confident for the season ahead. Well, Manscaped is the only brand dedicated to the below-the-waist grooming, and their brand new shaving tools just dropped right in time for Pride season. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is now available in the US and Canada. What makes this waterproof trimmer different from all the others? This 7,000 RPM trimmer features skin-safe technology to keep your balls in check and has helped reduce manscaping accidents around the world. A new multi-function on and off switch can engage a travel lock created for jet setters. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. An additional guard lengths with sizes 1 to 4 let you trim to your liking. I love investing in the best new technology and advancements, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and detail on the 4.0 are next level. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? In the shower or in the wild, and from your chest pubes all the way down to your ball fro, the Lawnmower 4.0 is the best trimmer for you. Want to take your grooming game even further to the next level? Well, the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. Come on, guys. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Seal the deal with the Manscaped liquid formulations. Before heading outside, I'm talking about the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant to keep you on your game in the heat. Then after trimming the lawn and whacking the weeds in the heat, give your beach balls a boost and use the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort in boxers to another level. Get that close shave you're looking for with the Ultra Smooth Package. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS at manscaped.com. This is the perfect package for you and your perfect package. Again, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS, TAGS, at manscaped.com. Prune your pubes for Pride season with Manscaped. Okay, well, Pride Month, as we know, is here. And Postmates, do you guys order from Postmates? I'm a seamless guy by
I'm
preference.
Seamless or Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Postmates marked Pride Month with a bottom-friendly food menu. And the reason why this got my attention is because they
Jesus, help
consulted.
me.
So let me play this out, Kodi, because
Okay, go ahead.
you in particular on a recent episode was not here when corporations try and glom on to the corporate gay pride or LGBTQ Pride Month bandwagon. You will be happy to know that they consulted the good doctor, the ass doctor, the doctor that's been on our show multiple times, including in our TV pilot, Dr. Goldstein. And they really did their due diligence in my mind and didn't just phone it in. And many of the things Postmates, the food ordering delivery app, has managed to do with today's announcement, Eat with Pride campaign, it comes complete with calling its first of its kind bottom friendly menu. I think so. Here's the thing, which I think we were talking about, Kodi, the other day, is if you're going to go there as a corporation, and I put Postmates in the corporation, don't just put up a flag like Chase Bank and say, here we are, Wells Fargo, I think I saw the other day, and they said so many years been supporting the community. Really go there. And for them to consult Dr. Goldstein and really not only just consult Dr. Goldstein, but put together the first of its kind bottom friendly menu is really stepping up to the plate, because it's really things that we think about when we eat. So restaurants taking part include Prince Street Pizza here in New York, Tender Greens, of course, the salad, Dialogue Cafe, Takaya, Alfred Coffee, okay, enema, H2O Sushi. Just saying. In a press statement, Postmates said, we know that not every meal is ideal if you plan on getting frisky soon after eating or getting fucked. And while heterosexual sex education is prevalent, there's not a lot of conversation out there about the best foods to eat before you engage in anal sex. That's a press release. That's why Postmates is partnering with founder of Future Method, bespoke surgical anal surgeon, and sexual health and wellness expert, Dr. Evan Goldstein, and gay comedian Rob Anderson to have a frank and fun discussion about it. What can you expect in a lot of the food that you should be ordering? They talk about grains that are really good to be eating. Veggies, of course, fresh fruits, leafy greens, fish, low-fat proteins like fish, meat, and tofu. So
oh my God,
things
am
like
I on a
sushi.
bottom diet? I don't know.
Maybe
I think
you are. I
meant
know
to.
you love. Another great option is a salad with tuna, tofu, or steak, or a protein plate consisting of one of these proteins plus a salad and some roasted vegetables. So, what you guys asked? What should we not be eating if you want to bottom? Things like fried chicken.
Okay, no,
I
I'm
never
not.
eat
Never
that
mind.
stuff. Probably barbecue too, Kodi. So just FYI. Insider joke on that one. Double bacon cheeseburgers or loaded nachos are
Oh, God.
definitely off the plate if you want to avoid. I mean, you're neither one of you are bottoms, but Jeremy, what do you think about this menu and this partnering? Are you
I
here for it?
love it. I think it's brilliant. And I love that they just went, like you said, instead of replacing a logo that's always there with just a rainbow version of it, they, like, I mean, it's kind of a ballsy move, but it's great and it's very bold. And I honestly think that bottoms, I think that city people use, uh, like people that live in a big city and order out like often. I think it's perfect to come up with something like this, especially to honor pride and our bottoms. And I just love it. I think it's like really an awesome idea.
So here's a question for you, Jeremy. If you were dating somebody that you wanted to bottom later that night and they were taking this advice, are you going to eat the same foods that they are eating as the top? Or are you going to be like, no, boo, you go and have that sushi platter over there while I go have my cheeseburger over here?
No, I'd probably eat what they're eating too.
That's fair. And I think
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
That's
good for
very kind of
you.
you. You're a
I'm
great
not like
type, I
a
think.
I wouldn't be like a hog and be like, "Oh, I'm getting a burger and fries while you eat your
Ha
salad."
ha. If
Secret
you
eating
want
in the
this.
other room.
I also just never find it like, I am such a foodie, but I never find it super sexy to like pig out with someone that you're like fucking. At least,
Into.
yeah. At least if you're not like in the relationship status.
Yeah, because to your point, once you're in the relationship status, you can have Netflix night and the two of you can pick out and have pizza and do, but it's like we're in tonight and it's probably not that's not happening
Right.
tonight. And yeah,
Yeah, the
so
hell
good
not.
for you. I love that. Cody, what are your thoughts on last week's statement on you don't like corporations either way stepping up to the plate? But I think, what do you think about Postmates?
So it still feels like pandering to me, and I do
What?
think that it
This is marketing
does.
and the way the world works,
It
though.
does.
Everything's a marketing. I don't understand you.
Bottoms already know what to eat. They already know
I
that.
don't think we do.
I think the thing that it does help with is, like, say you go into the app, I think it helps categorize things for someone that is hungry and looking for something to eat before they have sex. I mean, it's kind of like, in a way, indirectly a no-brainer, because it's like a subcategory for food in the app, where
And
the app you could literally scroll for like an hour trying to decide what to eat.
I
If
see
you
what
think
you're
about
saying.
it like that, I
I,
mean,
I
I know
I
that they
agree
know
with
what
that.
to eat. I don't think that I'm definitely have faith in in all bottoms that they know what to eat,
Well,
but it
yeah.
is
So
helpful.
Cody, I want you to finish, but
Yeah.
on jumping on the same bandwagon, I was going to where we were nominated for Cyber Socket. AJ Sloan, porn star, talked about the same thing just the other day about getting your butt ready for bottoming. And he knows a little bit about this. Nothing beats the sound of a sweaty sack slapping up against those eager cheeks. I wish
Ooh.
I could, right?
You better
And
come down. My
so,
boyfriend's out of town.
yeah. So he talks about, and this to the point of Dr. Goldstein, where you really want to, yes, you can say what you want about a corporation coming in and coming out during Pride Month and whether they're trying, yeah, but everything's about marketing. So I'm not really mad at it. But if you're going to come, in my mind, speak to our community and do the research. So Dr. Goldstein is a legitimate, well respected ass doctor that there's not a lot of them that do what talk about our ass and bottoming the way he does. But this porn star that I just mentioned talks about soluble fiber are our friends. Yes, I guess if you really thought about it as a bottom, I would know some of the things, but I'm not a doctor. I don't really know exactly. He says, in short, eat things that keep things like grains, nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables in your regular diet if you'd like to keep the dick in your regular routine. Not enough fiber? in your diet, no problem. Psyllium husks is another fast, easy way to add fiber to it. And I know this because Trader Joe's has got psyllium husks, and it's kind of mealy, and you put it in some water and you just do it. It helps keep your,
They also
dare I
have
say,
fiber pills
poop.
too. So
They do.
psyllium
I
husks.
like the psyllium husk, and what it does is keep your poop solid and together, so keeps you that much more cleaner. If you're thinking about it, you can do it in the morning. Douching. Now, here's the thing. Yes, douching is something that we can all do. However, you don't want to over douche. We're going to talk about it in just a sec about traveling, water, bulbs, what types of water can be good and not always a good thing. But it's always good to start with your diet. And I think Postmates partnering up and this porn star with Dr. Goldstein, because he also participated in this cybersocket.com interview. AJ Sloan interview, I think is a good thing, Kodi. I mean,
So
are you still down
what I
on it?
was going to say before you guys hopped right on me was that it seems like Postmates has done a lot of research in order to kind of show us that they accept us and that we're all good with them and that they actually are in support of the gay community. So I feel like this company is doing the right thing in order to, celebrate Pride with us. And I feel like they probably put their money with it where their mouth is what is most important to me. Like this whole bottom menu thing. Yeah, it's cute and I love it. I think it's wonderful, but I need to know that they are actually in support of the gay community, actually putting money into the gay community and making sure that we are all free and able to do the things that we want to do with our lives.
Well, sometimes people don't always, it's a marketing thing to promote to the gay community, but rather than put money into the community, because where is that money actually going? They're actually consulting with a leading ass doctor like Dr. Goldstein and giving us sound advice and putting out menus that may potentially be good if you're thinking about bottoming. So I take this just as much as I would financial, because where's this money really going? What's it really doing? I think it's just as good. So many of us want a bottom. And to me, it's a good thing with this information to have options. At least put the discussion out there on, hey, I'm thinking of bottoming. Maybe you don't think of it as much, Kodi, because you don't bottom, but
I just said the
for
exact
those,
opposite. I said that I think that they are putting a lot of thought into it, and I think that they are doing them a great job as far as thinking about what would appeal to the gay community and how they could use it to apply it to their app. So yes, I agree with you that they are putting a lot of thought into it.
okay, all
But
right.
I'm just saying,
Well,
it also leads me to believe that they are putting money back into and donating to the Ali Forney Center and to gay youth and things of that, and AIDS research and things of that nature. So yes, I hope that that's where they're putting their money in as well.
I get it. I hear you. I just think sometimes why not be relevant unto a community that is looking to bottom, and the things that bottoms go through to, oh my gosh, I have to bottom tonight. And what's that mean? And what am I going to eat? And it's putting that conversation out there into something that we would have never talked about even 10 years ago about diet for bottoms is so into the mainstream right now in 2022, and I am here for it. I don't yes, I think other organizations, let Wells Fargo and Chase Bank donate to Trevor Project and homeless youth and things that are really of need, that they have the money and the power to do, and let
Well,
Postmates
Postmates got a lot
talk
of money.
about. I mean, but not like Wells Fargo. I mean, I don't know their trajectory, but but leave it to Postmates to talk about better bottoming diets and putting that into a conversation that has not been in the mainstream conversation in the last at all, if you will. And consulting Dr. Goldstein to me just gives me life. I'm here for it. On that related news, though, we have to talk about traveling and a recent tweet from a person that goes by Shakti's Child kind of gained attention on social media as the user recalled the horrific aftermath of a past douching experience while visiting Cancun, Mexico. Quote, douched in Cancun. I bled for days. I had to wait until I landed back in NYC to go to the hospital, and they pulled a tapeworm out of me.
Oh my
Horrific
goodness.
experience. I know. The article goes on to say that, and this one does consult Dr. Goldstein again. I love how I found all of these articles because he really is the leading doctor talking about our bottoming asses, our gay LGBTQ asses, and really looking out for us. When traveling aboard, know where your water comes from. Contaminated water can look clean, but still have harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Factory sealed bottled water is the safest option for most travels. Always look for unopened factory sealed bottled water for other drinks. According to the CDC, common diseases that could be caught by contaminated water include alkalaria. Oh, I don't even want to list all these. You get the point. I'm somebody that travels often when I travel, and I was going to ask you guys what you put based on Fire Island. What's in your gay travel bag when you travel? Mine was going to be a douche kit, but since I've been enlightened by Dr. Goldstein, he has a company called futuremethod.com, and he has a douching kit that's a saleable douche, a very gentle formula that has been formulated to clean the ass along with the proper diet with a small bulb. The bulb I have is so large it barely fits in the suitcase. And I just think that's part of something that I want to travel with, is something that is like this. But by all means, when you're traveling internationally, do not just put water in the mix. But that does bring up the question, you guys, as the two non-bottoms on the show, what's in your gay travel knapsack or luggage that you do not leave home without when you travel? Like, what are you going to pack, Jeremy, when you go this weekend to what pride are you going to?
Providence.
What's in your gay essential travel packing?
So I almost always pack my African black soap that I'm obsessed with from Shea Moisture.
I know that, honey.
I literally am obsessed with it, and I use it
I
every
love that's
single
in your
day.
essential packing.
Yeah, that is. Poppers definitely are. My favorite is Double Scorpion. Double Scorpio. It's a black bottle with a little leather jacket on the front. What else do I bring? What is it called? What's the lube that's it's a black bottle with like a it's silicone lube. Wet Platinum.
Platinum. Oh,
Yes.
There we go.
He just had to look on the shelf behind him.
Wet Platinum travel size. I bring that with me. And then I bring some good cologne for sure.
Love that.
Yeah.
I definitely I brought douches before, but now after this article, I'm going to Future Method only and getting that. I bring my manscaping by manscaped.com, where you guys get 20% off plus free shipping using our promo code TAGS. I bring a variety of swimsuits, of course, because as the years have gone on, I do have a couple Speedos in the mix, but I've gotten into these board shorts that are really box cut, like they're a square cut. Jeremy, I know you understand.
Like
moving. They're just not that. They're actually like, dare I say, trunks, but they're just a box cut short. Okay. And I don't know. I've just moved out of the Speedo for me at this time right now. I've just moved out of that, but I have a bunch of them. I get them in Puerto Vallarta and I love. I bring a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker for sure, because I gotta have my tunes, sunscreen, shades, and we are going to have Yush poppers on the show in a couple weeks, Kodi. And they are brand new poppers that don't spill. They have different you can put different caps on them for different people to inhale. Yush Yush is right now the poppers of choice out of Canada. We're getting them. I'll try and get you guys
Hey.
samples of them so we can try them out. But that's kind of what's in my bag. What's in your bag, Kodi?
Are we talking about before Joe or after Joe? Because AJ or BJ? Because that is
Well,
really the determining factor
We're
right
talking
there.
about currently, so I
Currently,
guess
okay, all right.
AJ.
yes.
Lots and lots of lube, just like Jeremy, and swimsuits for sure. Because unlike you, Steve, my swimsuits, instead of getting big, they're getting smaller and smaller, and I don't understand why. I maybe the thought is coming out in my older age, but he's jumping out with a vengeance. I don't know, but because my swimsuits are getting smaller, I also have to take my clippers, so my manscapers are coming with me as well. What else? I don't really bring poppers, but yeah, that's really it. Mostly those are the essentials for a gay destination getaway: lube, swimsuits, and the clippers.
I love
She's a hairy boy.
Well, we love it when you write into us. We love giving you advice, and we love it when you suggest topics, as comes from Celestial Flute, who wrote into us and DM'd us on our Instagram at TAGSPodcast. And he says, "Hey, Stevie and crew, how are you?" He has a question. Has Tags ever spoken about the inclusion of trans men in porn? I know a lot of gay porn stars are having their first experience with trans men and a fucking vagina, or a Trip Richards, or as Trip Richards calls it, a front hole. Not sure who Trip Richards is. Do you, Kodi?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never.
I guess what I'm asking is, what is Tag's opinion on the subject? Because my gay mentor in his 70s got into a major argument with me, saying they are not really men and that trans men disgust him. It all made me very sad. Although I personally am not into vaginas, I certain they feel wonderful, and I never discriminate against one. In fact, Lace Lath Ashley, right, is so damn beautiful. I'd highly consider trying it myself. I would love it if Tags would speak on the subject. I'm glad you brought this up. We haven't talked necessarily about trans men in porn, but we've had Kyle on our show years ago. I remember Kodi, or excuse me, Jeremy, you and I had transgender community on our show when we were at
Yes.
Rebar. Yeah, and we asked point blank questions about sex. Kyle has been on the show several times. He's not in porn though, and we haven't talked about it. I've seen it before, and I think it's hot. I think the one thing I would say is, if I have a friend or two from a different generation, and your friend is in his 70s. I have a friend in his 80s. And I just know when I'm talking to a generation of that sort, you're going to get all kinds of viewpoints that may or may not align with your viewpoints of today, and give them a pass. They're just of a different generation. I think that you can push back though if you somehow find yourself getting into the conversation, for sure. And I don't know that you're going to change their minds. I'm here for it though, and I think I agree. Trans men are sexy, whether they're lathe or not. I've seen plenty of them. What are your thoughts on it, Jeremy?
So I definitely find a plethora of them super sexy, and it doesn't bug me to see them included in any porn category with gay porn and etc. And I do understand that people with an old guard mentality, or just people that are set in their ways, are going to like have a certain point of view. But I also think that we're in a time and age where, like we talked about before, it's like an era of gay shows coming out and gay actors and gay music, and it's all things that we're making up for lost time. And I just think that it's a time to be inclusive, and I think it's great. And if you don't like it, just don't watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so finite and simple. There's plenty of porn on the internet that I don't like, and I just don't choose to watch it. And I find everything else that I'm looking for, whether it be on OnlyFans, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Pornhub. It's like, it just use your search engine and like stop complaining about something that you don't like.
Yeah, Cody, what do you think about the comment where he says that his friend who's in his 70s says that they're not real men and that trans men disgust him? What about that part?
That really makes me feel sad. I really am.
Because what's
That
a
make
real
it
man
hurts
anyway?
my
I
feelings. I
mean,
know, right? Am I a real man? I don't
yeah.
understand that because, our heterosexual counterparts have said that to us. They've gatekeep what constitutes a man for generations. So who am I to say what constitutes a man and what does not constitute a man? I think that I find, just like you guys, so many trans men attractive. And in porn, Steve, oh my gosh, so many scenes I've seen where them getting pounded out is just the hottest thing in the world. So I I'm all for it. I just think that people need to learn to grow and change. Even in your 70s, it's still possible. So I think that, maybe your friend should open his mind just a little bit more. I might miss the D a little bit if I was dating them, but I mean, you never know. I don't know what the future could hold for me as far as dating anybody. As long as I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you.
I'm in the same boat. It's such a time thing too, as we see just I was watching this whole thing. They're re-airing the FX series about Pride in the various decades. I just watched the one over the weekend about the 90s. And it's so interesting to see President Clinton and what was the don't say, don't ask, don't tell in the military and things that he wasn't for. Even hearing President Obama not support gay marriage in a certain time when he was a senator, all
Yep.
these things that are now in place now, that it just shows me, wow, these are good things, reminders to see where we were just with a little bit of time and a lot of pushback and fighting, that we can see change happen. And it's just great to know. I think this is one other thing that we're going to see with trans men, is that they are going to be, maybe it starts with porn, seeing in porn, but I think if I met somebody, I would be totally open
I
to it.
know,
I don't know
right?
that I would really care. To me, they're a man at this point, and or they're trans. Many of the things that Kyle told us in our show is, well, he's a trans man. It's
Yeah.
and many of the women that I've met in Asia SF, in San Francisco and Palm Springs now, say, well, they're trans women. So it's a new iteration of a new education. And yeah, I'm going with the education and the evolution of it all. If I'm attracted to it, I'm going to go with it. That's just how it is. That's what Kyle's boyfriend, now husband, did.
Hmm.
Was only into gay men and met Kyle, figured it out, and now they're married and have a great life together. I think I would be in the same boat too. Just don't knock it until you try it. Lastly, a gay man's tweet is going viral about turning up for a date on a bike. Let me read a little bit
Hold
more.
up.
Andy, who works in sexual health in the UK, shared the tale about one of his worst dates, including a screenshot of the exchange that took place. He says he arranged to meet the other man for a picnic in the park, and we're guessing it took place in London. Ahead of the meeting, the two men swapped text messages. Andy mentioned that he rarely uses public transportation, relying more on his bike to get around. It meant to be a date and you're on your bike, responded his date. Eh? What's my method of transport got to do with anything? Replied Andy. Quote, doesn't matter, responded his date. But Andy pushed for more clarification. The date then made his displeasure known, pointing out he'd be walking while Andy had his bike. Hardly a date, and then you'll cycle home and me on the tube? The other person, the guy writing, but we're going to a park. I'll lock my bike at the station when I meet you, replied Andy. Can we leave it? I'm here now, but looks like you're just meeting a mate at the park, replied the date. They went on and on. Andy said in an accompanying caption, I remember arranging a picnic at a park with a date and got in trouble for cycling there. Needless to say, the date didn't go well. I got ignored. Is Andy's date making way too much of this about cycling to the date, Jeremy?
Of course, that's such a stupid like.
But it was a real thing. I mean,
Do you like the guy or do you not like the guy? Who gives a fuck how he got there?
Yep.
and who knows if he even liked the guy or not because he wasn't
And
even
I
willing
love
to meet
biking,
him.
and it's so sexy. Like guys on
Right.
bikes is hot. Their ass is like
That's true.
split on the chair. Their legs are like moving. I don't know. I just love biking, and I think it's so sexy. And I could care less how the fuck they got there. If it's on a broom, if it's on a private jet.
Not a broom.
Yes.
Jeremy
Come on,
says broom
Alphaba.
like he says Rome. Jeremy and I actually, truth be told, back in the day would get on City Bike. I convinced him one day, and once we got on City Bike, did we not have so much fun riding around
Yes.
the city? It was
Yes, and I actually just did it again when I was in New York for like 24 hours with my family.
love.
I got every single one of them on a city bike, and they were like, this is the best part of the whole entire trip. And we rode all the way down to the Oculus from
Yes.
Chelsea, and they loved it, like the
Oh.
whole entire thing.
Your
I'm just
perspective.
so scared
Well,
to get.
get a
I'm going to
helmet,
get hit by
Kodi.
a
Get it.
car.
So get a helmet is the latest thing that our co-host Lincoln and his boyfriend Peter really suggest. But I'm not going to stop biking because, for starters, we do live in New York and there's a lot of crazy stuff happening down under in the subway. So I don't know where you're really safe, Kodi, necessarily these days. Nowhere. However, I choose, to Jeremy's point, you get to a different perspective. You get some exercise. You really take in the city, whatever city you're at, in a different way. And it's really enlightening and it's sexy. And you get to flirt with other riders or people on the streets, or you just.
Oh my God, and the runners on the track.
Oh,
Like in New York, the runners are so fucking hot that are on the running track
so hot.
right next to the
You
bike track.
guys can
Oh, no,
really
we are
multitask. I cannot focus. I'm focused on the road and not falling and not dying, not getting hit by a car.
But
That's what I'm focused
stick
on.
to the messaging. What was going on with this poor guy who was riding his bike to meet a date, and this guy that was already poo-pooing the date before it even happened?
That he has a stick up his butt. He's just way
Stick
too
up his butt.
uptight. He really needs to
Yeah.
let go a little bit. And who cares? Like
And
Jeremy
get
said,
on
who
that
cares
Dr.
how he got
Goldstein
there?
diet.
And there were so many workarounds. The guy on the bike was like, "Oh, I can just lock it up and we can walk together." He can walk beside the bike. Has this man never ridden a bike before? What's going on? Like that he dodged a bullet by that guy just letting him go, because that sounds like too much for me.
I want to
Yeah.
meet this guy. I might move to London to meet this guy, because to me, how it takes, as we all know, it takes so much. It's luck of the draw. It's really throwing the dice in the air and blowing on them and hoping for the best that you get a good date that actually shows up, by the way. If you
Ooh.
are going to dice it up and say, oh my gosh, I'm not going to meet you because you're on one form of transportation and I'm on another, that shows you need to do some work, in my mind, before you even go on this date, because you are not willing to meet somebody. It's, who cares how he got there? He came to meet you, and it's a picnic, motherfucker. It's like, come on, light.
And then you need to state ahead of time a 4-door sedan, preferably.
Right. And be in a certain echelon. And we're talking about daddy date. I don't know what we're talking about, but yeah, no, absolutely not. Do not end a date before it's even begun, is my theory. Well, this has been so much fun, guys. Thank you for playing. So much fun. You can always follow my co-host on social media. Follow Jeremy at @JRossLopez, at @JRossLopez. Say hi to your friend to me, Jeremy.
I will.
Put in a good word for me. Follow Kodi Maurice Doggete at Mr. Maurice, or he's a life coach at KMD Coaching. Follow us at TAGSPodcast. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Yes, y'all.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were looking at your phone while driving, let me say it again. Seriously, put down your phone. That is so unsafe. If you didn't do stuff like use your phone while driving, you could save money with Progressive Snapshot. But saving or not, just put it down. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't looking at your phone, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.